PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, is a complex condition. It's important to understand that it can manifest in many different ways. It is often linked to soldiers returning from combat zones, which is a very real and significant association. But the reality is that trauma is everywhere. It doesn't discriminate. And it's particularly prevalent and perhaps uniquely experienced, especially for Gen Z. Today's young people face relentless pressures from all sides. The constant barrage of social media, the constant exposure to public tragedies, and the always-on nature of constant digital connection all contribute. PTSD isn't just about dramatic, life-altering events that make headlines. It's about the mind getting stuck in survival mode, even when there is no immediate danger, long after the original threat is physically gone. For Gen Z, trauma can be incredibly public and seemingly persistent, constantly shared, endlessly replayed, and therefore never truly left behind in the past. The digital world amplifies pain and extends its reach, making it significantly harder to truly heal and move forward. Trauma isn't always a single, definable event that can be easily pointed to. It can be the accumulation of ongoing stress, subtle or overt emotional abuse, or simply the persistent feeling of being unsafe or unseen in everyday spaces. Understanding this broader, more inclusive definition of trauma is absolutely key to effectively supporting young people who are struggling. We must actively look past outdated stereotypes and preconceived notions and truly listen to the real, lived experiences, the often hidden and deeply personal struggles they face every day. It's crucial to remember that PTSD is not a sign of weakness. It's a perfectly natural human response to experiences that overwhelm our capacity to cope. Recognizing and validating this reality is the most important first step towards meaningful change and healing. For Gen Z, growing up in the digital age presents a unique set of challenges. School, a place meant for learning and growth, can often feel unsafe. And it's not just from the threat of physical violence, but from the constant, looming threat of it that permeates their daily lives. Active shooter drills, now a routine part of the school experience, and the very real fears they represent, create a baseline of pervasive anxiety that follows them everywhere. Online, trauma takes on entirely new and insidious forms. Cyberbullying, often relentless and inescapable. Viral humiliation, spreading like wildfire across the internet. And the constant, overwhelming pressure to project an image of perfection. There's often no true escape. The pain and anxieties follow them home, relentlessly pursuing them through their screens. Social media magnifies every mistake, amplifying the consequences, making feelings of shame and isolation feel utterly inescapable and deeply personal. Older generations may be quick to dismiss this, casually labeling it as just drama. But the human brain reacts to these digital threats in much the same way it reacts to physical ones. The battleground has undeniably shifted, evolving with technology, but the wounds inflicted are just as real and impactful. Gen Z's experience of trauma is often both intensely public and deeply private, and it demands to be acknowledged, understood, and above all, taken seriously by society. PTSD in young people can look like moodiness, but it's much deeper. Flashbacks, nightmares, and panic can be triggered by everyday things. Avoidance is common. Skipping school, deleting social media, or withdrawing from friends. Guilt, shame, and emotional numbness often follow, making connection difficult. Many feel constantly on edge, irritable, or unable to concentrate. Sleep problems are frequent, as their bodies stay stuck in high alert. These aren't choices, they're the body's response to trauma. Recognizing these signs is crucial for offering real support. Healing from PTSD is a journey, a process of reclaiming your life. It isn't about forgetting the past or erasing painful memories. It's about regaining control over your present and future, empowering yourself to move forward. Grounding techniques, like deep breathing exercises, like focusing intently on your senses, what you see, hear, touch, smell, and taste, can help anchor you firmly in the present moment, pulling you away from distressing thoughts. Building a strong support network, leaning on friends, family members, or qualified counselors, breaks the cycle of isolation and fosters connection. Sharing your story, your experiences, even with just one trusted person, can be incredibly validating and healing. It can be transformative, allowing you to process and integrate your experiences. Seeking professional therapy, like trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, TFCBT, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR, helps to rewire the brain's response to trauma, promoting healthier coping mechanisms. Remember, recovery isn't always linear. There will be ups and downs, but lasting healing and a brighter future are absolutely possible. You are not defined solely by your trauma. It's a part of your story, but not the whole story. You are inherently stronger than you may currently believe. With consistent support, self-compassion and patience, hope, healing and a fulfilling life are absolutely within your reach.